Welcome to the lesson on advanced prompting. I am so proud of you, honestly, for making it this far and taking time to commit to learning these new AI skills. Give yourself a round of applause. Honestly, like what you learned today is literally going to benefit your life tomorrow and so much in the future. It's going to save you so much time, and this is such an advanced concept that I'm so proud of. You D4, really pushing your education. You're investing in your education is really like the best ROI and payoff. Like, oh my gosh, I am just honestly proud of all my students, really, genuinely. So I'm super excited for this lesson. This is a very big lesson. So let's actually take our time to focus on it. But once you learn this concept, this is going to be very prompt, very powerful, and it's going to take your prompting to a whole nother level. So what is the Advanced Prompting Framework? This is the Advanced Prompt Framework. These are the 5 elements to take your prompting to the next level. Now, taking a step back, the reason why is because, honestly, most people do not give enough information to any of the AI models in their prompt for the models to know exactly what you're looking for. So the goal, especially when you get into like software programming, or if you ever want to become a programmer, highly recommend learning how to code. It's like the best skill set ever. The reason why, one of the biggest problems when people learn how to code, is that they weren't explicit enough with their instructions when they give it to a computer program. That's all cha-cha. PIA is just a computer program. It just put in an input, and then you get some output from there. So most programmers fail or write buggy code because they didn't explicitly break down step by step. Do they exactly want the program to do? So that's pretty much like the concept of what we're doing here is in prompt engineering. You're trying to give as much detailed, explicit information as possible to the ChatGPT model in an organized manner for the model to output exactly what you're looking for. Exactly. Or getting closer to what I call 80% good enough kind of things it's usable, that you could use it in your final task or project. So let's break this down. There are 5 elements here. So the first element, and I color-coded them. The first one is role. Role, which is in purple, which is this part right here. So it introduces a role, the job title, or the persona. Who is the expert that you want ChatGPT to be to perform this task? Because remember, ChatGPT functions like a college intern. But you need to give a persona a role in order for it to act or behave in a certain manner for you to get a much better tailored output response. You're really, at the end of the day, trying to augment people or experts at the other day. So who is the expert that you want ChatGPT to be for this specific task? For example, so in this example, I said you are a professional copywriter in the B2B space. Done. That's it. So now that it has this role and persona, that's great. The next thing that you need to give it explicitly is, what is the task that you want to accomplish? So your instructions is most likely going to contain some action verb like write, summarize, compare, analyze, generate. And here we're saying your task is to write a LinkedIn post about the future of AI. Great. It's got its role. It knows what the purpose is. What's the task that we're working on? Lastly, this is just a little placeholder right here. This phrase, strictly following the instructions below, it's just a placeholder. And for the instructions, now you really break down detailing exactly what you want out of this. You have a bunch of, like a scope of work. You have a bunch of details that you want to give us. And you want to treat it like a college intern. Do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, make sure it has this, and this. So here we're saying, hey, and you can see the placeholder. So for instructions, and then we do little line bullet points out. I want you to use a conversational tone of voice. I want you to write in short sentences. And then I want you to end in a call to action, to a free trial. Now, this is where you'll go back and forth to re-edit this prompt. If you don't get the output that you want, you'll just go back to this section right here and continue to refine your instructions until the output is exactly what, or at least what I call 80% good enough. Basically. So this is where you'll continue to go back and forth. You won't get it perfectly right off the bat. Just put some instructions there, and whatever it outputs, you'll know exactly what it's missing or what to do or what additional stuff you want to add. So just go back to this instruction part right here to refine your prompt, which I'll show you in the demo to add another bullet point for it. To redo it basically until you get 80% good enough. And then lastly, this is another placeholder. It's a phrase that says, based on the context provided. So to make your AI outputs unique, relevant, it's crucial to add examples to your prompt. This could be examples of your text that you frequently write, or existing documents about the topic that you're writing for, or any other information that AI need. AI needs to work with this right here, context. It's just a placeholder. This phrase right here based on the context provided. And then here down this little section right here, context. This is where you're going to put website URLs. You're going to technically attach a PDF, which I'll do a demo. So you don't really need to literally explicitly say attach, but I'll show you how to attach a PDF document, for example. But you need to add some additional local knowledge, PDF files, example work, for the model to give you a much better answer, because again, you never want to rely on just ChatGPT to just word vomit, whatever it outputs, say no. Treat it like a college intern. Here's a task and here's some information. Here's a book, here's a guide, here's an article, here's a website. Here's some additional information I want you to do something with. So that's what the context is. So that you're not relying on ChatGPT's memory or whatever's in its training data. You provide the context, and that's how you're going to get a much more higher quality output out, rather than something that just is generic of whatever the model may be limited or trained on. Lastly is the command. You're going to repeat the main task by summarizing it in a few words. This is just like your main command to just do the task. Basically what you're telling it to do, which we're saying, hey, now write the LinkedIn post. Awesome. So let's take this into ChatGPT and work with it to see how it will look like. For example, now that we're in ChatGPT, here's an example of that prompt. Remember, you're a professional copywriter. Awesome. Use the instructions below based on the context. Great. And then we can see here, here's my instructions. And then I added a context of a blog article. If we go to this article right here, here's a blog article that just talks about how AI is transforming B2B sales. Great. So that's this context, what it's going to use as a reference, and then write the post. Now, most of the time, ChatGPT, whatever it outputs isn't going to be exactly what you're looking for. See, you're like, that's not exactly what I'm looking for. So don't worry. That's part of the process. The part of the process is just to get some output and then to refine your original prompt here based on what additional things that you need, for example. So based on my instructions, I'm like, man, I can add some more things to the instructions to get a much better article, for example. Now I went back and forth. And this is the process. Basically, you're like, remember our first test is it 80% good enough? Which is no, doesn't meet that first criteria. And then I also wanted to read the website in the context, because it didn't read the website, so explicitly giving instruction. Then it was very verbose. So I was like, you know what? You need to translate it for an average Joe. Awesome. Went back and forth. And then I was like, no, you know what? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to our channel for new home style videos. See you in the next video.